The Kurdistan Democratic Party will not participate in the upcoming Kurdistan region parliamentary elections scheduled for June this year, it's been announced. Paulo Pinheiro of the UN Independent International Commission of Inquiry on Syria has denounced escalating violence in the country, calling for an immediate ceasefire. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan has escalated a war of words against Iraqi Kurdistan's Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, as Turkey's President Erdogan once again threatens the Syrian and Iraqi border regions. And the co-chair of Turkey's pro-Kurdish Dem Party has condemned state-sponsored divisions and Islamist forces within the Kurdish community, speaking at a Nevroz event in Batman. Learn more with Media News. The Kurdistan Democratic Party, or KDP, has announced a decision to boycott the upcoming Kurdistan region parliamentary elections, a move formalised on Monday. The boycott comes in the wake of the Iraqi Federal Court's decisions that challenged the Kurdistan region's legislative and financial framework. Among these rulings, the court's verdict to eliminate 11 quota seats in the Kurdistan region parliament, typically influenced by the KDP, stands out as having significantly altered the political landscape. These changes, alongside directives for the central government in Baghdad to manage oil revenues and directly pay civil servant salaries in the Kurdistan region, reflect a pivotal moment in the governance and autonomy of the region. Observers speculate that the KDP's boycott might reflect a broader discontent with the current political arrangements and the fear of not achieving desired election outcomes. Following the KDP's boycott announcement, the rival Patriotic Union of Kurdistan confirmed that it will proceed with the Kurdistan region's parliamentary elections, scheduled for the 10th of June. The US, meanwhile, has expressed concern over the KDP's election boycott decision. Paulo Pinheiro, head of the Independent International Commission of Inquiry on Syria, said that Turkish airstrikes on power stations in northeast Syria disrupted essential services and deprived nearly 1 million people of water for several weeks. Pinheiro emphasised the critical need for an end to the conflict in Syria, citing the country's deteriorating safety and increasing number of Syrians fleeing, amidst a backdrop of escalating hostilities and a lack of political resolution. He highlighted the impact of Turkish airstrikes on northeast Syria's infrastructure, disrupting essential services and leaving nearly 1 million people without water for weeks. Pinheiro highlighted that the need for humanitarian assistance in Syria has reached its peak at 16.7 million people, largely due to escalating military conflicts, including Turkish operations in the north. He also pointed to the plight of nearly 30,000 children in northeast Syrian camps, still in refuge years after the defeat of ISIS, and urging international states to facilitate their return and reintegration. The dire circumstances Pinheiro outlines are vividly exemplified in Afrin, which fell under Turkish occupation 6 years ago. In the wake of Turkey's 2018 occupation of Afrin, recent reports detail 16 direct civilian killings, 369 kidnappings, and the cutting down of over 17,700 trees. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan has labelled the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan, one of the two ruling forces in Iraqi Kurdistan, as a national security threat to Turkey. Speaking on a television programme, Fidan expressed concern about the Patriotic Union's leadership in Suleymaniye and its alleged links with the Kurdistan Workers' Party, suggesting that these relations go beyond mere problems and pose a serious security threat to Turkey. Fidan's remarks come against a backdrop of rising tensions, with Turkey having previously taken steps such as closing its airspace to flights to and from Suleymaniye and carrying out airstrikes in the region, claiming that the strikes were targeting the PKK. Meanwhile, Turkish President Erdogan has committed to securing Turkey's border with Iraq this summer and to completing the country's unfinished business in Syria. Erdogan made these remarks during a dinner with soldiers in Ankara. He said, "Having a strong army is more than a choice for us, it is a necessity. We are a country, a nation, an army that must always keep its deterrence at the highest level." Erdogan further added that regardless of who is behind it, Turkey would not allow what he described as the formation of a terrorist state beyond its southern borders. Tuncer Bakirhan, co-chair of the People's Equality and Democracy Party, fiercely criticised the Turkish government's divisive tactics within the Kurdish community during Batman's Newroz celebrations on Tuesday. Batman's memory will never ever forget, he declared, in the Kurdish-majority city of southeastern Turkey. Bakirhan sharply criticised the Turkish government's efforts to divide the Kurdish community, specifically through the fostering of Hüdapar, a political party succeeding the Kurdish Hizbullah, known for its violent and anti-Kurdish actions in the 1990s. The Kurdish Hizbullah was established by the Turkish Deep State and the Turkish Gendarmerie Intelligence and Counter-Terrorism Unit as a counter to the Kurdish Liberation Movement. Referring to Hüdapar, Bakirhan took aim at those who claim that Kurdish identity aligns with forces in Ankara, known for their hostility towards Kurdish rights. We say to those trying to make us forget our past, Batman is a memory, Batman is truth, he affirmed, referencing the city's deep-seated memories of suffering and resistance. During the 1990s, Kurdish regions in Turkey, particularly Batman, became a focal point of the Turkish state's counter-insurgency campaign, which was characterised by severe human rights abuses, including enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and torture